I thought we might have a little look at the I am. You know, just the sense that I exist, I am. Prior to I am and the story, name and what we do and all of that. Just the sense that we simply are, I am. Now I'm just going to offer a pointer. That sense that you are, that you exist, I am. Is that the knower? Not something we need to work out. You may notice a dissipation of any sort of position, or because that sense of I am can set us up as a, there's nothing wrong with that. Because it's already not identifying with the story of itself, but it's still this sense of a position or a me and other things. But when we look at, is that the knower? For me, everything just dissipates. So there's no longer the I am and what it knows, or even something that knows the I am. There's no longer two. What knows it is that. There can be an assumed separation. But of course, what we are is that's revealed, that dissolving of the assumption that there was somebody holding on or any sense of a me, a position, or so it reveals what was already the case. Assumptions about what we are appear in this. Well, if we know what we are, then whatever appears has less weight. It's just seen through. Not by anyone, So there's nobody here. What's in the way the mind frames it. There is the knowing of the moment. Just the knowing, not somebody knowing. Just the knowing. There's something prior to concepts. It has no power, those appearances. It's just a story, really. How it can build a story, I am, and then the story of the I am. This assumed position, point of view, and then it takes its relative point of view to be who it is. There is then an experience of a me, but there's never a me. So what we are remains totally unaltered, yet can sort of experience as a me. Never becomes a me. Experience of a me can feel very real. I think it's just the ability that life has to create that. It can be an experience of bliss and an experience of anger. But what we are remains unaltered. Never becomes the me that's experiencing anger or bliss. They're movements as if we're this ocean of beingness, impersonal, formless, And then the currents are how it experiences itself, but it never leaves the ocean. They can be big waves or ripples or movements. Never becomes the movements, experiences the movement, never leaves what it is. So there can be an experience of recognition, but this never fell asleep to itself. It doesn't wake up to itself. That's how it can experience, but the recognition appears within it and it's totally unaltered. It never ever fell asleep. So it doesn't need to recognize itself. It's already awake to itself. It's just the additions that give the experience of falling asleep, but it never falls asleep. So we can always notice what's being added to the moment. It's a belief or a sense for me, identification arising. With there might be a contraction, which is a movement within itself. And then there can be a identification arise. And then it's my contraction. And there's a feeling of I don't want this. So there's an I now speaking. Experience of an I. But what's aware of all of that is totally unaltered by that contraction and the belief and the experience of a me. Then this experience of a me will have we'll need to fix that contraction now. That's what'll appear. There'll be this idea it's not right. Need to get rid of it. Need to get back to what I am. All of these things can be experienced. It's an infinite possibility of how it can experience itself, but never leave itself. So the spiritual journey is a movement within itself. Waking up to itself is how it's framed, And I think it's slightly different. It's actually, there's nothing being added. No story forming, rather than something's woken up. Experience of waking up is appearing within itself, but it never fell asleep. That one can never be found. Can be an experience of waking up, and we tell the story of that, but a little bit later it's, hang on a minute, nobody woke up. Can't find that one. So that's just less being added to the moment. There's not somebody seeing through all their beliefs. We don't ignore the movements. There'll still be the appearances. But when nothing else is added, they're just movements. So I think that's the neutrality. It's not somebody being all neutral and just measuring them all as the same. It's just they haven't got anything added to them yet. So they're all neutral already, or neutrality is already the case. It's only ever this appearing. But we add to the appearances and that becomes a little story. Story of being lost and then story of needing to be found. Forgetting and remembering, all movement. Not wrong, just not who we are. How just what is can have a human experience, is knowing itself through form, is experiencing itself through forms, thought forms, feelings, emotions. All of these movements within itself, but never becoming any of them. That relative point of view, the life situation is not referencing anybody. And anything that's added is this. I love that.